Have you heard? The Prime Minister of France has been fired. Well, somebody says it's about the 56th one this year, or within a few years. And honey, they are after the neck of Macron. Yeah, them French people don't take no crap. They know there's one thing about it.
Is France ungovernable? France has lost its fourth prime minister in less than 2 years. François Bayrou has resigned after losing a confidence vote over his unpopular deficit reduction plans, plunging the country into political uncertainty.
We have breaking news right now. The French government has officially collapsed, plunging the country into significant political and uncertain turmoil for the near future. The French Prime Minister that has been in power for just about 9 months or so lost a no confidence vote in the parliament. And as a result, he must now resign from the government, step down from this position of power, and leaving France without a functioning government, essentially.
Don't just watch, act. Learn the history, share the truth, stand for justice, and be part of the change.
Hey, this is Janetta. Yeah. Ooh, honey child, honey child, honey child. It is going on in the world today, and I don't mean only Africa. I don't know if you heard about Nepal. Nepal over there in near India and Asia. Them people are, they are tearing up. See, that's one thing about some of these other groups of people. When they get tired, they burn it down. One thing about black folks, we are the most forgiving and nice people. You know, all this Savior, Jesus, and things, we're praying for them and everything. Those people in Nepal wasn't praying for them people. Honey, they say you cut off our internet, you cut off this. We are tired, we're sick and tired of you cutting us off. And them poor people are rising up. I'm not telling Kenya nothing. I don't like fights just like nobody else like fights, but sometimes they take a hard stand for you to let people know that you mean business. Yeah. Well, back to Africa. Ooh, yeah. Well, let me tell you what's going on. It's going to be a hot city. It's going to be hot at that UNGA, UN General Assembly, which started, I think it was the 9th of September, but it didn't really it didn't really get hot till I think the last couple of weeks of it. Well, anyway, I'm just wondering what is going on. Have you heard? The Prime Minister of France has been fired. Well, somebody says it's about the 56th one this year, or within a few years. And honey, they are after the neck of Macron. Yeah, them French people don't take no crap. They know there's one thing about it. When you get fed up with stuff, you get tired of it, you want it to stop. And that's one thing about them French people. Honey, they block up the streets, they do everything. Everything stops when they get mad. Oh yeah, but why are they angry? Well, let me tell you a little bit of secret. You know Niger and Mali and Burkina Faso, all three of those countries were being controlled by France. Well, they kicked France out, they nationalized all their minerals and said, we're not paying you no more money. Not gonna give it to you, France. You're not gonna take it from us anymore. Ha. Well, that caused France a little bit of headache, especially in their pocketbook. Or maybe I said butt ache, because it cost them in their back pocket. The back pocket got a hole in it. Yeah, and that hole was created by those men in the Sahel area. Yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's Africa. You know, you hadn't heard much about Africa other than a terrorism or something like that, something negative. You hadn't heard that they were getting one time $1 billion for their gold in Burkina Faso, and yeah, and now they're getting 18 billion a month. They got 1 billion a year. Now they're getting 18 billion. Well, because they took it over. Other countries are seeing it, but I'm telling you, the poor people are rising up, and you can't cut the wave. You cannot do anything about it. Poor people all over the world are tired of being poor. They are fed up with being messed over, hungry while everybody else is so full. And then they're turning around and charging you taxes for the privilege of the rich people. Let me give you an example. Let me just give you a little bit of an example. They make you feel guilty about being sick, and they pay a lot of money. This is the United States now. They pay a lot of money to go shoot somebody that didn't give them a problem. Go all the way over this. They say they're protecting your interests. You dying at home from disease and sickness because you don't have no insurance, but they're going all the way across the world. People you don't even know what they supposedly did to you for the interest of the United States to kill those people, and they charge you. They tell you laying on the system. We don't want to take care of you because you laying on the system. The reason why we're having to help you out with Medicare, food stamps, and other things is because you just completely lazy. You trifling. And then when you go to work, they tax your butt for everything you got. And the wealthy man, he's making the money. Now you check all those wars out. Who made money? We tore up Vietnam. Then we went around and we built them back up. All that has been done to Africa, they have never turned around and built Africa up and set them up with trade and all this kind of stuff. Now that's where the communists were. Now do you know that the Vietnamese are still communists? They're not a democracy. Neither is Japan, really. The only thing they got democratic is they have an election, a so-called election. But Japan is ruled basically the same way. Woo, yeah. In fact, you call socialism communism, but I'm telling you, I've been in some of the socialistic countries. The workers get taken care of. That's what Switzerland is, a socialistic country. That's what Norway is. That's what Sweden is. That's what Germany is, a socialistic country. The only thing they do under democracy is vote. That's it. That's it. That is it, because they got to pay their fair share. Nobody's exempt. But honey, hush up your mouth. You know that woman, Erica Chimbori Quayle? I hope I miss Erica. She's a hot fire or somebody. You know, the Bible says there's nothing in the world worse. Hell has no fury like a woman scorned. And that woman is fed up. Was raised in Africa. I think it's Zimbabwe. Yeah, she got privileges and went to school in the United States, and then she was a doctor. She worked in the United States for some 30 years or something, and she retired. And they had the nerve to ask her to be an ambassador of the African Union, and stuff had been cutting up ever since. I mean, because she made a revelation as to how the French have been taking advantage of those people in Africa that were colonized by the French. The French did them in Africa just like they did those people in Haiti. We're going to let you have your freedom, but you're going to pay us for it. You're going to give us money for it. We're going to take everything you got. Make you poor. Make you poor. No. I just talked to some people lately, and they talk about, but Janetta, the Chinese, they're letting the Chinese go. When's the last time you heard of Chinese killing 10 or 20 million people in Africa? When did they do it? Well, they don't treat their people bad. Well, at least they're screwing over their own people. That's their people. It ain't none of my business. But I'm telling you what, you go to visit China, they got better trains than you do in the United States. And we don't have no trains over here in Africa hardly at all. So you tell me, whoo, Germany got trains, France got trains, everybody got trains but the United States. We don't have no trains, them trains ain't worth quat. They ain't not worth squat diddly. Yeah. Systems, lighting says automatic, automation, all that kind of, I mean, woo, we look like dumb pioneers. We're the strongest country in the world, supposedly. We got more guns than anybody else. But just a normal thing to take care of the people, you don't have them. But it's coming to Africa. That old Ibrahim Traore, he has started something. I wouldn't be surprised if the people in Nepal, I was kind of looking at him and getting some hint that when the government is really working for the people, by the people, and with the people have something. They're not poor and destitute. It's a big plan being made. I ain't trying to start no trouble. I am not trying to start no trouble, but this is what's going on. This is what is going on. It's good. And you're going to see somebody. I'm going to put some videos right so you can see what is going on. Child, shake a feather, shake a feather. Get yourself together, shake a feather. Because I'm telling you, the sky is definitely falling. Woo, yeah. Poor people are tired of being poor. And you know what? That's the thing about it. Americans are confused. They're made to believe. We were made to believe that we're doing so good. And them folks been stealing from us like I don't know what. I just imagine this president we got now involved with a scandal that is just above measure. Above measure. We got a president that went into bankruptcy 9 or 10 times. He was charged with sexual scandal. He stormed the Capitol building, had people storm the Capitol building, and now he's in tie with this pedophile, Epstein. And we celebrating him and magnifying him and all that kind of stuff. Americans are just stupid, black and white, green and purple, all of them. They just don't have a lot of sense when it comes to things they're supposed to do. Yeah. Military industrial complex, budgets on the side, putting dope in California, crack cocaine, doping up all the black people, making money so you can invade Nicaragua and pay for bullets in Nicaragua. Huh? CIA going and tearing down governments and lying. And then we marching in there and you're dying. Your young men are dying. You know what? I don't know why white folks don't get mad at the system because they got more young, poor white boys being killed. And honey, they did not make fertilization for black people. You understand that? The fertilization, how you fertilize so the people can have babies. But the white folks need some fertilization because they ain't having babies like we having babies. They need to be fertilized. One black man produced about 10 babies, and my white man struggled to do 2 or 3. Something wrong with the woman's womb and something wrong with, you know what? Yeah. His seed. So they need to take that medicine and that thing for fertilization. Very few black women need to take that. Very few black men need to take that. That wasn't developed because of us having a problem being fertile, because if it was, they wouldn't have made it. Because, honey, the worst thing in the world for them is for you to be fertile. But let me not get off the subject. I know I got a combination of things to talk about today. But going to war, suffering, Medicare. There's more poor white people on Medicare than a little bit. Then a little bit, there's more of them on food stamps and Medicare. But they thought when they were talking about food stamps and Medicare, they thought they were talking about the black man or the Mexican or anything. They don't, that's who they thought they were talking about. So look at the farmers now. They didn't think it was, do you think that farmer had in his nearest brain pimple that he was going to lose money by losing farm workers? He thought he was exempt. They didn't get that written down by Trump. We're going to exempt those workers for you on the farm. We're not going to remove them. We're going to exempt them. Yeah. Well, the sky's falling. Yeah. Woo-hoo. Yeah. All throughout Africa. They're trying to keep it quiet. And they got all these sophisticated AI videos going around talking about how it's failing in Africa, how they're doing this, how they're desperation, especially in that area of Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. Hey. They really trying to convince you that, hey, you know what, have you noticed they haven't had much news from Africa? Because usually if it was tearing up, they would tell you. But they have a group called J&I or something like that. I think it's J&I. They just blasted that terrorist group out of the sky. Oh yeah. That terrorist group was funded by France and whoever else from Europe. They want to keep Africa down. But Africa is moving on. It's moving on. And we're going to get it. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. You have run against the most forgiving people in the world. The black man with this nappy hair is the most forgiving person in the world. There's nobody forgive like we do. No. Not nobody. Japanese forgive after you pay them some money. Them Germans forgive after you pay them some money. The Vietnamese will forgive after you pay them some money. And Afghanistan will forgive you when you pay them some money. But they're not forgiving. You haven't paid us anything. We haven't got no reparations, no nothing. You haven't repaired a doggone thing. Have been lying to us for years. You killed them poor Indians up there on the reservation. Right there in the United States of America. Yeah. But hey, your day is coming. Your day is coming. A class structure. At least a black man in the United States knows that they don't think they're worth nothing. But it's not appeared to that poor white man that your butt ain't worth a dime and he don't care nothing about you. You think you got a position because they're using your butt. That's what they're doing. I'll shut my mouth. Shut my mouth. Shut my mouth. Shut my mouth. There's nothing they can't do about the problem of unemployment, crime, and everything in the United States. But they rather to keep the black man poor, running around there helpless and not being able to accomplish nothing and destroying them. They rather do that. They rather do that than do right. And I hear, you know what? Let me tell you something. Let me look eye to eye. Let me look eye to eye. They will do anything to keep the black man down. And it's not because he's black. It's not because of that. We have black inventors over here, African inventors over here that are inventing things that science say it's impossible. It's impossible. I'm telling you. You pull the plug in the United States. If they ever woke up the Nigerians while they've been prosecuted and treated in Nigeria, if those Nigerian doctors and lawyers and bankers and things in the United States, if they pull the plug on the United States to go down flat. Because they need them. They need that help. Hey, ain't no Chinese. Everybody worry about the Chinese. Well, the black people in Africa, they're going to let the Chinese rule them. Well, what make you think the Chinese going to be able to rule? There's no thing. Now, they got a few pictures with the Chinese kicking black people and mistreating them. They got a few pictures. But they don't have no pictures of them hanging them all in the street. They don't have no pictures of them raping their wives, abusing children, selling them. They don't have no pictures of that. Not even the Russians. But every time something happens, you bring up the Chinese. Black man, black woman, wake up. What have them Russians ever did to you? What have them Chinese ever did to you? If you name the people that have killed you, maimed you, cut you, stolen from you, it don't start with Russia and it don't start with China. Oh no. So don't give me that excuse. They're not democratic. It's communist in the way they treat their own people. They treat their own people so horrible, Janetta. And they're going to come over there and they're going to take things away from the African. Just think the Africans owe them money and they took their airport. Let me tell you something. We got enough over here to buy 5, 6 airports. We can close that one up and build another. Oh, yeah. The Chinese can have that doggone airport. We can build another one. This is our land. There's no China land. We can make that airport exempt. It don't take nothing. Because we got the money, we got the gold, we got the minerals. We have the wealth here in Africa. Can you understand that? And you know what? Let me talk to some of them people that say they're not African. Let me talk to them that say they're not African. You stay not being African when we take this thing over. You stay not being an African. Don't try to claim that you're an African when things turn around. Because things are turning around. 1.5 billion, not counting those in the Caribbean and in Brazil. And those are in Africa, those are some in China, Japan, all over the world. There's some black people all over the world you haven't even heard about. Papua New Guinea. All them, they don't want to call it, but they black people. Papua New Guinea people got nappy hair and look like me. Ah, yeah. Let me tell you something. The time is coming. I'm not trying to start no fight. This is for entertainment purposes only, like they say. I want you to be entertained with the truth. Entertained with the truth. I know they're trying to cut things off so you don't know what's going on. But let me tell you something, sugar brother, you get yourself ready, you get yourself educated, and stop following the doggone bouncing ball. Make your kids study. Make them follow rules and regulations of your household. Don't let them run all up and down the street, carrying on like a big fool with guns and everything. You got control of that. Minister, get out of your pulpit and really do some saving. Don't wait till these young men go to jail and then go down there and give them the sanctification so they can go to heaven. We got things to take care of right here on earth. Right here, right now. Preach that sermon on Sunday. Talk about the men put in jail and what's going on. Families on the street need food. Need shelter. Now everybody out there is not people that are on drugs and don't want to work.
Yeah, this is America.
That's a lie. Ain't nobody taking as much drugs as them Europeans. That's where the money is. That's where the money is. They drugging themselves. That's why I tell them they don't know that they've been mistreated. All them young white men dying because of those pills on the street. In the United States of America. That there's so much good money for a market of drugs in the United States that they lined up in ships and submarines and airplanes and trains and boats and everything to get that drug to America. Most of those countries they pass through don't even use no drugs. They go to America and they go to Europe. They go to America and they go to Europe. That's where the drugs go to. Oh, yeah. So don't tell me there's something there. There's a class structure. And if you're not in that number one group, hey, you an enemy. You being used for their purpose. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm tired of preaching right now. So I'm going to sign off. This is Janetta. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If you don't like it, talk to me. If you don't like it, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Them poor white people got guns all up in their house. Scared of black people. To do what? To do what? They have no reason. They've scared themselves. You know, when you wicked, when you steal, you think somebody's going to steal from you. That's where it is. We need to wake up as a people, period. People all over the world. You know, there's enough provisions here in this world for nobody to be hungry. Nobody needs to be hungry. Well, you count it all up. But if you got somebody got a pile of it over there and keeping it to themselves and growing the pile more and more based on how they can mistreat you, then you're going to have some poverty. Oh, yeah. All right. I ain't waiting to go to heaven to get mine. I want mine right now. Okay, this is Janetta. Like I said, if you don't like it, let me know. Comment, share. Oh, yeah. Okay, talk to you later. Love ya. Woo-hoo. Ciao. Hey, this is Janetta, and you're watching Africa Speak.